Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for coming out to see the Bob Hope USO show. What you're about to see has been inspired by over 135 radio shows delivered by Bob Hope and the USO from U.S. military bases overseas during the Second World War. Now, I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. The good news is that the Army's 43rd Infantry Division Red Bull Band is here. 34th. And Fort Snelling's own sound effects master, Stephen Komola. Of course, we have the very lovely Maxine. And me, the USO announcer, Private Joseph Rochelle. I am also here, but Bob is missing. Very good, very good. No, he's here. He's here. He's visiting the wounded on our hospital at Fort Snelling's upper post. He said that he wants to say hello to all of them, so he asks your forgiveness. But we're all ready to do the show, and I assume that you want to see it. Well, Bob's radio producer is here, and he has offered to read Bob's lines. Obviously, not as well. But if you're ready, we are too. The Pepsi Show, starring Bob Hope, live from the historic part of Fort Snelling in Minneapolis, Minnesota, featuring Private Stephen Komola, the very lovely Maxine, and the U.S. Army's 34th Infantry Division Red Bull Band, and me, I'm Private Joseph Rochelle, all brought to you by Pepsi Toothpaste. You'll wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent. And now here he is all the way from, well, almost anywhere in the world where Americans' military men and women are fighting. Bob, I'm finally glad to be in Minnesota. Hope! Say, Bob, how many shows have you done in military camps?
Well, you know, this year in the South Pacific so far, we did 150 shows, but radio shows for Pepsodent like this one, over 140. I say, isn't that Bing Crosby's age?
I think you liked it more than you're letting us think. Well, Bob, all the people out here in Minneapolis, Minnesota are certainly glad to have you here.
And I'm certainly glad as well. It's a pleasure to be with you at Old Fort Snelling. I gotta tell you, we had an excellent flight in from San Francisco. Didn't scare me a bit. I read a novel on the way up. And I'll read the second page on the way back. Halfway through the flight, I have to tell you, the pilot turned around, looked at me, and asked if I was a little nervous. And I said yes. It was only the third time I'd been in the plane. You got me beat, the pilot said. This is my first. At that point, I asked the pilot, should I have a parachute? He said, don't be silly. The ones where the parachutes jumped out 2 hours ago. Talk about rough weather over the mountains somewhere around Denver. I got to tell you, Joe, the automatic pilot jumped out. Yes. But that time the crew chief tapped me on the shoulder to let me know if something happens, the pilot would be the last man off the plane. He said, I don't really want to make you nervous, but the pilot's already down there on the ground. I want to remind all you soldiers to use Pepsodent, because even though your toothbrush may be GI, your teeth should never be PU.
So right you are, Bob. Pepsodent has Irium, that scientific discovery that wipes away all those stains and leaves just pearly white teeth. Miriam learned that lesson.
Oh, Miriam's toothpaste didn't have Irium. When potential male suitors, few during these last few years of the war, saw Miriam's dingy teeth, they did a quick about-face.
And fortunately, Miriam tried Pepsodent with Irium on her choppers. With her white teeth and pleasant smile, men were attracted to Miriam like a magnet.
Use Pepsodent, and you will wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent.
Bob, Fort Snelling is a reception center inducting men and women into the military. So far, over 250,000 from Minnesota and the surrounding states. And what a nice reception that we had when we arrived yesterday.
You know, as we drove onto the fort, we heard the 34th Infantry Division Red Gold Band practicing, and they were so outstanding. We asked them to stop over and give us their rendition of Captain Glenn Miller's standard, "In the Mood." How'd you like to run some lines on that skit I'm going to do with Betty Davis when we travel out to Hollywood in a couple of months?
Sure, Bob. Where do you want to start?
Well, I tell you what, let's start, let's start right here. I'm driving along, heading toward the Hollywood Kansas, and the car's engine is purring.
Ladies and gentlemen, Fort Snelling's own man of 1,000 sound effects, Private Steve Coma.
Come on, Bob. Let's get back to the script. The car was purring.
Yeah, well, that's right. Car was purring. And then it started to miss. Now, I see see a service station up ahead. So I just swerve right in front of an oncoming bus
Me.
and screech to a stop at the gas pump.
Ding,
Leave me alone,
ding,
Bill.
ding.
And am I ever happy I pulled into this service station?
Hi, soldier.
Woo!
What seems to be the matter?
Well, something's wrong with the engine.
Well, shall I check your water?
No, it's all right. Even if I do drool.
Say, this left tire is kind of worn. Want me to examine it?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I must remember to get my nails shortened. Well, at least let me spray your windshield.
Oh, wait. Oh, I don't have a windshield. Spray me anyway. Yeah, say, listen. Now give me about 5 gallons of gas, and I'll try and make it to another shop.
Your ration card only entitles you to 3 gallons.
Oh, please.
Buddy, I don't make the rules, so don't ask me to break the rules.
All right. Okay, 3 gallons.
Ding.
I'm sorry. It'll only take 2 gallons.
2 gallons? Are you sure?
Of course, just look. It's so full, I can't get the radiator cap on.
The radiator cap? Oh, brother, you're really fixing me up. Wasn't there another guy that worked here?
You mean the guy with the flat feet, fallen arches, asthma, rheumatism, and lumbago?
Yeah, that guy.
They drafted him as a commando. Say, where'd you get that black eye?
Oh, I went driving with a girl who works at Douglas.
Swing shift?
You're right. She swung before I could shift. Hey, say, how about you and me going out tonight?
Okay, I don't mind going out with a swell dresser like you. You sure know how to do a zoot suit justice.
Yeah. Get a load of this jacket. Comes all the way down to my ankles.
What's the good of that?
I'm the only jitterbug in town who can go out dancing while he's having his pants pressed at the same time. Say, Maxine, what about a little kiss before I go?
That's not part of the service.
Oh,
But for you, I'll make an exception.
Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely Maxine, one of Hollywood's lovelies that grace our stage and perform for our men and women in uniform wherever they are. The 34th Infantry Division Red Bull Band returns for an encore song, another Miller favorite, Pennsylvania 65000, and please feel free to dance. Pennsylvania 65000. Pennsylvania 65000. Pennsylvania 65000. Let's give a big round of applause to the 34th Infantry Division Red Bull Band and to the soldiers, sailors, and Marines who man this base in the middle of America, Fort Snelling, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
And one last short message to our foes in the fatherland. To all Nazis in Russia, remember, Crimea does not pay. Thank you all for coming out to support our crew as we practice our lines and our songs.
Bob and the stars that travel with him bring a slice of home to the soldiers wherever they are in the world.
As we travel America, we want to remind everyone here, they can support our fighting men and women over there. Hold them in your hearts and your prayers, because these soldiers and sailors and Marines and aviators aren't just strangers.
They're that young father down the street, or those 18 or 19-year-old teenagers who decided that their country needed them more than they needed a diploma. They're counting on each and every one of us, not just for our war bond money,
But for the grease from your bacon,
the produce from our victory gardens,
the miles we walk so they'll have fuel for their machines,
the rusted old metal we collect from the neighborhood so that factory workers can convert it into new fighting weapons for that young father down the street and those teenagers who decided not to graduate but to fight. So join the battle. They're counting on us. Let's all bring this war to an end. Pepsodent toothpaste for brighter, whiter teeth has brought you another live radio show, this time from the middle of America. We want to thank all the entertainers who appeared on today's live broadcast. Private sound effects master Stephen Kovala, the lovely and talented Maxine, and the musicians of the 34th Infantry Division Red Bull Band, and to the staff here at Old Fort Snelling in Minneapolis, Minnesota. For all of us, the USO crew, thanks for listening and keep buying those bonds.
and use Pepsodent. You really will wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent.
This summer, plan your vacation at home. Take the clear tracks for victory by saving vital rail space. Space needed for the movement of troops and for the comfort of our wounded men. This is the Armed Forces Radio Network.